Hello and welcome to Beekeeper. A very good afternoon to all the viewers. Clearly, a slightly somber date for trade for the markets, but in the last 10 to 15 minutes, we've seen a sudden 50 points rise that has come in. We are above the 18,600 levels as we speak, pretty much at the opening levels that we saw in today's session. Bank Nifty as well, a 0.3% higher move is what we are witnessing. 44,200 is the level that we're tracking as well on a closing basis. Joining us on the show to discuss what's in store is Nilesh Jain, Head AVP Technical and Derivative Research at Centrum Broking. Nilesh, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Very good afternoon to you, Hiran. Thank you for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure. Nilesh, my first question coming to you is what is this last 15-minute tick that we've seen? A good 50 points up move that has come in.
Yeah, that's quite surprising. And I think since the 2-day monetary policy meeting has begun, I think there must be that kind of impact. And looking at the spike in the bank nifty, it looks like we are likely to witness some amount of volatility in the banking space specifically. So we are likely to have an impact on Thursday. So Thursday will be the RBI policy will be announcing the policy meet outcome. So ahead of that, I think this is basically a volatility that we are witnessing. In the last
We are seeing this kind of a downtick as well as that because you have EPAM Systems, which has from the US, who has come out and cut their guidance as well, and that's one of the reasons why we've seen this kind of a downtick coming in terms of the IT index. In fact, they've gone ahead and cut their revenue guidance midway through the June quarter by 5%, and they've also reduced their full year guidance to around $4.65 billion from a $4.8 billion.
So you can hear me,
Now,
right?
the reason why we're seeing cuts coming in is because clearly, if you
Can you
see,
say something?
it's the IT pack which has been trading under pressure. And from a quarter perspective and from a business perspective, if you see, it's persistent systems that's taking the biggest hit. Because if you talk about EPAM, they're high on digital, 95 plus percentage of their revenues. I mean, 95% plus is their product, software, and engineering space is around 35 to 40%. And you have persistent, which is the closest peer. And that's the reason why we are seeing pressure. That's what we picked up from a note by Motilal Oswal. So that's a stock that, and that's a sector that we've been focusing on as well. In fact, we have Nilesh who's back with us. Nilesh, yes, we were just discussing about the last take, but from there on, if you see in terms of the overall market structure, the data that is coming in from the derivative and the technical space is clearly indicating positivity, but it seems that the momentum is absolutely something which is missing. Taking both these points as well as the way VIX has been moving and the way PCR is moving, because that is absolutely at a comfortable zone for the bulls. What are the levels that you're tracking?
I was talking about the markets have shown the resilience in the past couple of weeks. So overall, the structure looks positive. Every decline is getting bought into. Now the crucial support for the Nifty index is placed at 18,500 levels. And from here, we need a decisive breakout in the Nifty index from the levels of 1860 to 660 to 18,700 zone. Post then, we are likely to see a Nifty hitting its previous all-time high mark of 18,087. Now, you have rightly mentioned today we have seen some sort of a spike in the IVs, and we have a reason for that as well because the 3 days RBI monetary policy meet has begun today, and we are likely to have the impact in next three consecutive sessions. On Thursday, we'll be having the major impact since the policy meet outcome will be there. So overall, we believe that there will be volatility. but the range is very much defined. On the lower side, 18,500 is the crucial support zone. On the higher side, we need a decisive breakout over 18,700. For the bank Nifty, which looks slightly more comfortable compared to the Nifty index, and also looking positive for 42,500 to 44,800 sort of levels on the high side. So we are also very much bullish on the bank Nifty. And lastly, looking at the broader markets where we have seen good amount of attraction in last 1 or 2 months. So that basically gives more confidence to the market. Looking at the mid cap index, which is trading at all-time high mark, and small cap index is also patching up the rally. So overall, the broader market looks positive. Stock specific action is very on a very much positive side. So we believe any decline, any meaningful correction will provide a good opportunity to make a fresh entry on the long side.
Right. So that's the view coming in overall as well in terms of Nifty. How are you looking at a bank Nifty, Nilesh? Because clearly bank Nifty has been in a consolidation phase over the last 4 to 5 weeks. Again, there are bouts of up moves that we are seeing, but what's the trend that you're picking up?
Well, the trend is also very much positive for the bank Nifty, which is trading almost near its recent swing high and also at all-time high mark. So overall, bank Nifty looks slightly more positive compared to the Nifty index at current level, because in the Nifty index, it has a weightage of IT as well, which is sort of a laggard in the last couple of weeks and couple of months. So that is certainly a major cause of concern for the Nifty index. But for the bank Nifty, the structure looks very much positive. We believe that it is likely to move towards 44,600 to 44,800 sort of levels. And also, I won't be surprised if we see the levels of 45,000 in the June series itself. So for the bank Nifty, the support is placed at 43,800. Decline can be a good opportunity to make a fresh entry.
Right. Overall, apart from that, another news peg that I've been picking up in terms of where markets are concerned is where NSE has changed their Nifty Bank FNO expiry to Friday. What would this actually mean for the markets and for the traders, Nilesh, according to you?
Frankly, I don't see any major impact because of that. But now what we have is that for the Fin Nifty, we have Tuesday. For Nifty, we'll be having Thursday. And for Bank Nifty, Friday. So on each and every day, we'll be having one or the other expiries. So it will be certainly an eventful week going forward. But I don't think so that will have any sort of a major impact on the price action. As far as levels are concerned, as we mentioned, we are likely to see the levels of 44,800 to 45,000. So Bank Nifty structure wise very much looking positive, but this particular news may not have that much of impact on the index.
Right, but from a volume perspective, Nilesh, clearly, it was BSE who's recently launched their weekly options contract in the Sensex as well as the BankX contracts, which actually have a Friday expiry. Now, from a contract perspective, charges perspective, your BSE FNO contracts are much lower as compared to your NSE contracts, right? Do you think that will impact either NSE or BSE?
What happened is that NSC has more liquidity. So because of that, we have seen a lot of good volume traction in the NSC side. Now BSC is actively taking it forward, and because of this separate expiry on the Friday, we'll definitely have more volume in the Bank Nifty as well. Because usually what happened on the same day, we had Nifty. We currently having Nifty and Bank Nifty both expiries. So volume is getting sort of diversified between these two indices. But going forward, I believe Nifty and both Bank Nifty, the volume may increase going forward. That will certainly have a very much positive impact from volume point of view. And certainly looking at the attraction that we are witnessing on the BSE front, the volume will be picked up from here on in the BSE as well.
Right. So that's with regards to BSE, the volumes as well. Now let's move to in terms of stock specific action that we are seeing in the FNO market. Clearly, the IT index is under pressure in today's session, Nilesh, and it's the mid cap IT names that are seeing severe pressure. How are you looking at the IT index? What are charts indicating?
Certainly IT index has been the laggard since a long time. and whatever pullback that we have seen in between, that has been got sold into. At current level, it has breached its 200-day moving average on the lower side, so that's certainly not a positive sign. The Nifty IT index needs to reclaim 29,000 mark on the higher side for any sort of positive momentum to continue. But looking at the overall structure, we are not expecting any major upside in the Nifty IT space. There will be volatility, there will be pullback, but this particular sector is likely to remain under pressure amid the fear of recession in the US and a lot of tailwind on the global front we have for the Nifty IT index. So looking at that, I believe it is better to avoid taking any contrabet from trading point of view. If somebody has a long-term perspective, then large cap counters like TCS, Infosys are the good bets to add in the portfolio. But from trading point of view, I think it is better to avoid.
Right. A lot of positive positions taken in Ambuja Cement, ACC, as well as JK Cement. It seems that the cement makers are intact. Uh, are you seeing further purchasing parity there, and would you recommend a buy?
Absolutely. Specifically, the one stock that I want to highlight is Ultratech Cement. From the cement pack, it is one of the index heavyweight and constantly forming a high top and high bottom formation. And it looks like it is heading towards its previous all-time high mark. The structure looks very much positive. So I would advise to go long in Ultratech Cement on declines for the upside target of 8,400 to 8,600, keeping stop loss below 7,900. The another stock that we are liking from this space, and we have been bullish since quite a long time, that is Ambuja Cement. We have seen a good amount of base formation in the range of 360 to 380. At current level, it is looking very much on the positive side. And I would be surprised in the June series itself if we see the levels of 480 to 500. The structure wise, this particular counter looks very much positive. 440 should be the stop loss.
Right, so that's a stop loss of 440 coming in there. Moving on in terms of other names that we have been tracking in today's session, clearly let's pick up the likes of say M&M or even for that matter HPCL. Both these counters are seeing some bit of long positions being added in today's session. What are charts and derivative data indicating?
Certainly, derivative data for the HPCL counter is looking on a positive side. Reason being, we have seen some amount of correction in the crude oil, and that has always been beneficiary for the OMC stocks. So HPCL specifically, we have a positive outlook. It has given a triangle formation breakout. Today, we have witnessed a build-up on the long side. Addition of 4% can be seen on the derivative front. So the upside is open for 270 to 275. One can go long with a stop loss below 255. Apart from that, we also liking Nifty Auto Index, which is trading at all-time high mark. So Mahindra and Mahindra, this particular counter is looking very strong on the chart, and it looks positive for the upside target of 1450 to 1460. One can go long at current level and on decline, keeping stop loss below 1350. So Nifty Auto Index from here, I believe it should move towards 15,000 mark. Currently, it is trading at 14,700. So another 2 to 3% upside can be seen in the near term.
Right. The auto index has been scaling some life high levels. Apart from the names that we've discussed, anything else that comes to you from the auto pack?
Yes, so Mahindra and Mahindra that we just now discussed. Apart from that, Tata Motors, which is trading at 6-year high and also looking very strong on the chart. After long consolidation of 6 years, I think now is the time for Tata Motors to outperform, and the upside is open up for 600 plus sort of levels. So from current level, roughly around 8 to 10% upside can be seen in the near term. So at current level, looking at the technical breakout, can be bought and can be added on declines as well, keeping stop loss below 520, and upside is very much open for 600.
Right. Nilesh, apart from the names that we've discussed, anything else that you think an investor or a trader should look at from tomorrow's trading perspective?
Yes, so pharma space
Hmm.
is buzzing in last couple of trading sessions. So be it Sun Pharma, Glenmark, Lupin, all these counters are looking positive. Specifically, we are liking Glenmark, which has given a good breakout on the chart today itself to us in the second half of the session. And also we have seen addition of 2% open interest. So this particular counter looks positive for 650 sort of levels on the high side, keeping stop loss below 620. Glenmark can be bought. And apart from that, Tata Motors, we have already discussed that we are also liking.
Right. So Tata Motors, that's another topic coming in, as Nilesh mentioned. Thank you, Nilesh, so much for joining us on the show and giving us those views overall. But clearly, a good spike that's coming in terms of the markets. So clearly, the close seems to be pretty flat right now. 18610. We opened at around 18600 in trade, so we'll close near the day's highest levels. The highs was around 18618 in trade today. In terms of stock specific action, Ultratech Cement, Divis Laboratories, Axis, Grasim continue the upward spiral, whereas the IT names continue to trade under pressure. ONGC is another one which is seeing cuts of almost 1%. In fact, the volumes are also pretty strong with regards to where an Axis Bank goes in trade today. Let's quickly look at the Bank Nifty as well. If you see in terms of Bank Nifty, in fact, Bank Nifty is ending at the day's highest levels. If you see the charts of Bank Nifty as well, a one-way spike that has come in there, and we've hit a high of 44,235, and near those levels is what we say it seems we'll be ending. The breath has been pretty much 50-50 in terms of Bank Nifty, but nothing to worry on that front. From the Sensex perspective as well, if you see gains of, I mean, a pretty flattish close is what we are looking at in terms of the Sensex. Aegis Logistics, a 10% up move coming in there. Suzlon seeing gains of around 8.5%. Mahindra CIE smart gains. So the logistic players have continued to remain in focus for a second consecutive day. In fact, a lot of brokerages have come out with reports for the transport and logistics segment as well. You have a Kotak Mahindra Bank, a Jeffries, which are citing some bit of positivity there. You have Persistent Systems, Coforge, both these counters trading under pressure on the back of a cut in guidance coming in from a US company, as well as you have IEX, which is down 3.5%. And this is on the back of the May data update. So, overall, a pretty somber, muted market, but it's the last 15 minutes to half an hour of trade that has seen a sudden spike that has come in. And as Nilesh was mentioning, that the MPC is the 2 day meeting with regards to the MPC is what would have been started. And some cues from there is what the markets are picking up, and that could have caused this kind of an up move in today's session. But clearly, an interesting day of trade. What tomorrow has in store is going to be important because clearly, in terms of this week, firstly is the MPC, as well as later on, we will be watching out for what the Fed does as well. So, two important meetings that will be lined up. Lots more lined up in terms of news flows around it, interviews around it on PQ Prime. So, please stay tuned.